Roberto Duran.
Coming from Panama City, Panama, Roberto Duran.
He was the most macho fighter in boxing. Those demonic black coal eyes.
Hands of stone, Roberto Duran.
Roberto Duran brings an intensity and a fire into the ring, unprecedented in ring history of South America. He's one of the meanest looking fighters inside the ring, and he means it.
Hands of stone. Acknowledged by most to be the greatest lightweight in boxing history, he was a terror who intimidated opponents with sheer machismo.
You know, when I first saw Ali, I said, yeah, that's who I wanted to be like. I know I wanted to be a fighter, but then I saw Roberto Duran. I said, that's what the I want to be. Mean mother. People scared to look at him. The devil.
I mean, he looked at you with those dark, hollow, cold eyes. And he looked right through you. And sometimes that was just enough.
An intimidator who snatched souls like Shang Tsung.
Your soul is mine.
Manos De Piedra, Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran. You were born and raised in the slums of Panama, right?
They were very poor, so he had to go out every day and try to make, a living and sell newspapers or whatever just to get by.
Turning to boxing as a means to earn a living, Duran had to carry stones in his pockets in order to make the 127 featherweight when he debuted at age 16. Born in the slums of Panama, Duran and his family ran the streets day and night, shining shoes and selling papers to get by.
He found an order in a disorderly universe when he was a child in learning how to fight.
So then you turned pro at 16, which I guess in the U.S. here would be pretty young, but not so much there, right?
Where do prize fighters come? They come from desperate, poor circumstance.
Nothing creates the hunger to succeed like the hunger to eat.
But Duran was always my favorite just because he's a animal, man.
What a great night and a great showing for a future brilliant star on the horizon, Roberto Duran.
Hands of Stone.
He was nicknamed Hands of Stone early in his career for obvious reasons.
Roberto Duran es programado para pelear con el boricua Benny Huertas.
His aggressive, crowd-pleasing style made him an instant star in Panama.
And a man who has won, if not the greatest lightweight champion of all time.
Now listen, you could choose which division. That's how great he is. He was a champion at lightweight, welterweight, junior middleweight, and I believe middleweight.
So we're all set to go with this one. It's a scheduled 10-round junior lightweight battle, special attraction, featuring the up-and-coming Roberto Duran from right here in Panama. Kobayashi comes in at 60 wins, 9 losses, 4 draws. I'm Sheridan here with a sports classic for you, Roberto Duran. And the reason I call it a classic is because Roberto Duran is going to be a future champion of the world. Look at that, he backs him up! Big shot! And drops the former champ. Roberto Duran has him down. He's not going to make it. 6, 7, 8, 9, and he's counted out to 10. Look at the crowd. They love Roberto Duran. He's going to be a great champion. I'll tell you, folks, if he gets that shot they're talking about against the lightweight champion Kenny Buchanan of Scotland, it'll be terrific.
And intimidated that we hadn't seen since Sonny Liston. Roberto Duran had that. We just stared at guys, cold, and just made them kind of like evaporate.
Speed. People never thought him as fast, but he's very fast. Ferocity and savage punching. Has great anticipation of punching. He's just all around marvel in the ring.
He punched this guy so hard he messed up the tracking on this VHS. In his first title shot, Duran would take on fellow legend Ken Buchanan in New York City.
He was back in New York to fight lightweight champion Ken Buchanan.
The champion, Ken Buchanan of Edinburgh, Scotland, and the challenger, Roberto Duran of Panama City, Panama.
The champion, he's wearing flat shorts, Ken Buchanan, 15 more for the lightweight championship of the world.
The challenger is working on a percentage. Yes, it is. Johnny scores at a knockdown.
I don't know of any other fighter who was quite that wild in the ring, and yet he was in control of himself as a boxer.
Duran almost as fresh as when he started.
He battered the champion over 12 rounds.
Now Duran, the challenger, is just dynamite with his right hand. Round 13.
Buchanan collapsed at the end of the round, and the fight was stopped.
Buchanan went down after the bell, holding his groin. The fight has been stopped. The fight has been stopped, and the winner, 21-year-old Roberto Duran of Panama.
Roberto Duran was now the lightweight champion of the world.
There's pandemonium in the ring as people are trying to get in there.
He was celebrated as a hero upon returning to Panama.
When he returned home, they declared a national holiday.
Hands of Stone began a reign of dominance over the lightweight division that would last 5 years.
You were a great defensive fighter, and I don't think people talk about that often. But you were able to stand in the pocket and make people miss you. And that was part of your offense, was having such a great defense.
Duran is called, I mean, if we read the sports pages here, one of the toughest punchers for his weight. He's a brawler, street fighter. Somebody said it's like being hit by a rock to be hit by this guy.
One knockout after another.
Duran is called Hands of Stone, and he can really rip you. The left hook is his big one.
Propelled by a fury unlike few have ever possessed, Duran ran his record up to an astonishing 82-1.
Greats like Joe Louis, all of those great fighters from the 30s, Roberto Duran has qualities of each one.
And hey, you're talking about a fighter that's only 20 years old, and you're comparing him with some of the greats of all time, the Robinsons, as you said, and the Lewises and the Alis. Shows you what a great fighter he is.
Harry Greb, all of those maulers, fighters, men that stood right in front of you like he's doing now. He knows he's got this man in charge. He is punishing him. Hands of steel, hands of stone. Either way, he is one of the heaviest punchers for a little man that's ever been seen. You're trying to take his home and his money and his wife when you get in the ring with him, he says. You got to kill him.
I think his first loss was to Esteban de Jesus. He lost a 10-round decision.
At last, Duran would get a chance to avenge that loss.
The scene is Panama City. There's better than 15,300 on hand for this lightweight title. It is a big fight. It is revenge in the heart of Duran to stop this man for the lightweight championship of the world. Roberto Duran against Esteban De Jesus. De Jesus, calm, collected. Duran, hands of stone, ready to come out, looking. And the bell for round one.
Esteban dropped Duran in the first round.
They're both exchanging savage hooks. That's toe-to-toe action.
Duran would have to dig deep to overcome his rival.
Both mean business, but Duran is throwing everything he's got in his punch. De Jesus is a little bit more measured, a little bit cooler about everything. Maybe he can beat Duran. He's the only man to have done it.
He rematched against De Jesus and knocked out De Jesus back in the days when they went 15 rounds.
Barn burner so far, and it doesn't show any signs of letting up.
He knocked De Jesus out in Panama, outdoors.
He's down from the right hand. The count is being picked up. He looks like he's not getting up. He's sitting down there very comfortable. He's not getting up. He cannot. It's all over. It's over. They have awarded it to Roberto Duran. He keeps his title. Roberto Duran, the victor in his hometown in Panama.
Hands of Stone reigned over the lightweight division for 5 years as undisputed champion.
Thank you very much, Tom. Today's match marks Duran's 6th defense of the title. He won by stopping Ken Buchanan back in 1972.
He defended his title 12 times, accumulating a record of 62-1, with 54 wins coming by way of knockout. His fights were must-see events in Panama, where he was revered as a hero. Star rose.
Oh, he's out. Oh, look out. He's out now. They should have blocked the referee.
The entire boxing world wanted to witness the famed Hands of Stone.
Nobody cared in those days about unbeaten. What they cared about is what Duran did, which is you fight the best guys out there.
And he fought so many great fighters at so many weight classes.
Willimar Fernandez to the right of your screen. Boy, Duran is dynamite.
He had great reflexes, great defense. He was aggressive, but he was an aggressive counterpuncher, an aggressive boxer. Not only was he aggressive, and he'd break it down, a great body puncher, good hand speed, great technique.
Wicked shot to the body that hurt Fernandez. No question, that was a left hook in the liver. That's one of the toughest shots to take in boxing. He's out. He's not going to get up. It's called a kidney shot by Roberto Duran. Shot a left hook to the liver. The lightweight champion of the world, his 6th title defense. He's knocked out 40 of 50 people he's fought. Can young Ortiz from Mexico stay in there with him, do you think?
Well, I'll tell you, it's going to be an interesting fight for the simple reason I don't know if Duran can handle a southpaw.
He's lost just once in his career in an over-the-weight match, and he later reversed that same decision. Duran is 24, Ortiz is 26, so age should not be too much of a factor.
Ortiz was viewed as a real threat to Duran.
I'm very intrigued by this fight. I'm watching Duran. He's not his usual confident self.
A skilled southpaw who was known for his toughness.
Remember, 135 is the limit for the lightweight championship bout. Round number 1. We're on. Duran. He is strong, and he likes to fight. Ooh, a right hand gets through on Ortiz.
Duran bullied him.
Look at the back on this young man, 135 pounds, and he's nothing but layers of muscle across that back.
Battering him round after round.
With his back to you. 135 pounds. A fighting machine, he likes it. Oh, and the challenger is down with a right hand uppercut. 17 seconds left in the round, and they're counting now. It's over, a knockout. With 14 seconds left. Roberto Duran is the champion. Still the champion of the world among the lightweights.
Entre más cerca él se acerca es peor.
He says the closer you get, it's worse for you.
Tiene que entrar con el jab.
Always come in with the jab, always.
Ahora tiene que entrar con la derecha, por eso tiene que estar aquí.
So come in with the jab and the right hand.
Ya, ¿sí? ¿Ok? Ese soy yo. Otro no es. No.
That's defending, but that's him.
Sí, porque ya yo lo estoy viendo y porque ya me lo sé hasta de memoria.
He knows already that, you know, what you're going to do.
Ya yo vi dónde está el efecto y cuándo yo le puedo pegar.
He already showed him, you know, where he can hit you. He's already thinking ahead.
Yeah. Juan, tú ya. Ok, ahora estamos aquí, ahora estamos boxeando.
Now we're boxing. That always going to keep the air in the
Ahora yo
head.
estoy aquí, como allá. Pum, pum, you see. Es rápido, ahora, eso que yo le eché el pie adelante. Toma. Ah, you see. Ahí lo tengo aquí muerto. Te va a tirar a la derecha ahora. Toma. Tú tienes que estar aquí, look me. Ya, I move. Ya, toma, move. ¿Por qué la mano aquí? Porque él viene por la derecha.
Says why the right hand, why the left hand on top, because he's usually going to throw him the right hand. Go ahead, he says, go ahead, throw him the right hand.
¿Yo sé? Le va a quedar aquí. Ay, ¿yo? Tiene que aprender eso.
Gotta learn.
All right?
See where his eyes are, Lord.
Yo estoy aquí. Yo tenía mi mano tan quieta ahí.
He said, you see, my hands are at ease.
Pero mis ojos se están moviendo.
But his eyes are moving and his feet is moving.
Toma. ¿Lo viste? Era como yo. Toma. Para la tirada. Se va para acá. Esto es fácil.
It's all tricks.
Mira que aquí como que me van a decir los reviento
Says
todo.
the guy that goes like that to him will
Le
beat the shit
reviento
out
los
of him.
brazos.
Very good.
Y todo.
Yes, that's what
Yo se ponga como puede.
Get yourself like así como está. Like Mayweather.
But wait, this, right? Okay, dile que haga lo mismo.
Yeah, do the same thing as Mayweather.
This.
The arms.
Dile que cuando él le pega por aquí, le pega por aquí, por aquí. Le está haciendo daño a un pulmón o un riñón cuando está tomando el brazo.
When you do that, he hits you in the arm, brings your arms out, he hits you in the lung, he hits you in the kidney.
No tiene que tirar la cara.
You don't have to hit the face. You don't have to hit the face because you're covering it.
Está así. Entonces tú tienes que hacer así. Ra, ra. Tienes que pegar en los brazos. Después de 2 o 3 asaltos, tienes los brazos muertos.
After 2 rounds of hitting you in the arms, your arms are done.
Y ya después es más fácil.
And the rest is easy.
No lo vas a poder levantar.
You're not going to be able to pick up your arms.
Y cuando él ve contigo está así, tienes que meterle la mano aquí así. Cambiar para acá. Aquí. Cuando él pega aquí, él va a hacer así. ¿Vio? Él va a tirar para allá. Ahí mismo de nuevo. ¿Me entiendes? Pero tú es acá abajo. Olvida la cabeza.
When some guy's covering up like that, forget about his face. Hit him in the arms and in the body.
Pero se lo queda también más rápido acá abajo que arriba.
Says because when somebody takes a punch downstairs, it's worse than
ahora que se ponga así.
Not cover up like he's telling you.
Okay, estamos en el clinch. Estamos en el clinch. Yo estoy buscando con los ojos. Yo estoy buscando con los ojos, no voy a pegar. ¿Tú ves?
He's looking with the end. Where are you going to hit?
Yo sé que voy a pegar aquí, mira. ¿Tú ves? Voy a pegar ahí. Ya lo pegar ahí. ¿Por qué pegar ahí? Porque el bloqueo arriba.
That's you know why he hit you downstairs because you blocked yourself in the face. So you
voy a pegar 3 golpes rápidos.
He's going to hit you with 3 fast punches.
Y él no lo va a poder bloquear.
You're not going to be able to block him.
Sí, porque los ojos están ahí.
All in the eye.
Ah, you see? ¿Y tú viste la vaina? Pasado. Él está cogiendo aire. Pero no haga así. Él le tiene que hacer. Acá. Acá.
When you're tired, you're in the ropes. Instead of pulling back, move your body sideways. Never backwards.
Porque siempre viene la derecha.
You're always going to come back with the right hand.
Pues la mano siempre va a venir así, así y así, 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 así.
So you got to move where you're standing to the sides.
Pues si tú estás aquí, tú haces así, va a venir la derecha, ya tú la pasaste. Ah, va a venir la izquierda. Guap.
The guy throws your right hand.
Yeah.
You pass it.
Aquí, aquí, ahí, 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 ahí. No. Ahí, mira a la derecha, ahí, ¿yo viste? Lo estoy viendo, aquí. ¡Joder! Puede pegar 4 veces.
One hand, the right hand,
y la otra está
can
bloqueada.
hit you 4 times, and the other one be blocking.
Y la otra mano es lo mismo.
Same thing with the left hand.
Ahí.
Same hand. Tie your butt, you're looking at the guy.
Yeah, tú tienes que estar viendo siempre. Bien.
Always look at your opponent, always.
Ya yo estoy aquí, ya yo estoy echando, pensando echar para atrás, es lo que voy a hacer.
So he's already there, he's thinking, you know, I'm
Voy a
going to pull
caminar
back.
para acá, el tipo me va a cortar el ring.
Because if he goes to the side, the guy's going to cut the ring.
El tipo me va a cortar el ring.
If he goes to the other side, the guy's going to cut the ring.
Pero si yo echo rápido para acá,
But if he pulls fast backwards,
ya yo puedo mover para acá.
the guy stays in the middle, and you can even run. You catch your breath.
Ah, bueno. That's all. Practicarlo con el saco y practicarlo con otro spar y pensar lo que están haciendo.
That's things you learn over time, hitting the bag and practicing with the opponent. Always, thinking ahead, planning your moves. It's not just throwing punches for throwing. You gotta think. You gotta see always the hands of your opponent.
No practicar por practicar.
It's not just practicing for practicing.
La mano esta es la mano del espadachín. ¿Entiendes? Como el espadachín que pelea espada.
It's like
esta mano tiene. Eso fue lo que yo le dije a Riquierdo cuando fue a pelear con Roy Mayweather. Le dije que tuviera la mano aquí, que nunca la bajara aquí porque este Mayweather siempre viene con su gancho de loco de izquierda.
That's why he told Ricky Hatton when he fought Mayweather. He said, always keep your hands up. Always, you gotta keep it up.
Pero parece que se le olvidó.
But I guess he forgot.
Y entró así.
And he came up with jumps in with your face. He got him with a left hook.
Y después que yo estaba tomando, yo se lo dije.
Is that he was sitting there in the fight. He was having a drink. He said, "I told you."
Yo estaba parado.
Right, all at I'll stop mucking around. Right. Brilliant.
Roberto, he was in Rocky too, and he's supposedly Rocky's sparring partner. The way he could move his head just an inch, it's impossible to hit him.
A grudge match with Esteban de Jesus was set. A final fight to settle the rivalry once and for all.
Fight.
As a lightweight, I think he was unbeatable as a lightweight. Although he had his greatest fight as a welterweight.
A touching side story to this rivalry was how close these two warriors became. Esteban died of AIDS, and in a time when the disease was shrouded in misinformation, Duran lovingly embraced his greatest rival and told him he would always be the champ. Roberto was now struggling to make the 135 weight. He began ballooning between fights.
All right, let's go and see at Madison Square Garden the great fight between Roberto Duran and Monroe Brooks. And Joe Clancy, Duran looks to me to be a little heavy around the waist. I wonder how fit he is for this fight.
He would see your right hand coming and just ride with it.
And then return fire.
Yeah, come right back.
And then he could tie you up in the inside, tie one arm up, work you over, spin you around,
Turn
make you
you
pivot.
And Duran from Madison Square Garden in New York, round 8. Scheduled for 10. Duran just standing in there flat-footed now, measuring. Whoop! Down he goes. A hard left to the body. The left hook to the liver, Jim. That's it. It's all over. Arthur McCandy says, sorry, Monroe. You've really had enough. It was a left to the body.
Despite his historic reign, Duran was still relatively low paid. If Duran wanted to make millions, he would need to move up to welterweight and take on bigger names.
Nobody wanted to fight him. There were no opponents, and they would wait for him to get weight and then try to make a fight. Nobody will spar him.
Roberto Duran hardly needs any advertisement. The undisputed lightweight champion of the world. He outgrew in weight the lightweight classification. He's moved on upward to this, the welterweight classification. Regaled by the press, and deservedly so, as the fighter of the decade of the 70s. 70 fights in all, 69 victories.
And Roberto Duran attempting to prove he can make that transition from 135 to 147 pounds. Of course, a legend as the lightweight champ.
And this guy was giving Duran a tough fight, so at the 14th round, Duran knocked him out. Boom, he's in a coma. And so what Duran says when they say, Duran, what do you feel? He's in a coma. The possibility he may not live. And then Duran said, "Puh, next time I be in shape, he won't go to the hospital, he goes to the fucking morgue." It got hard.
In the crowd, Sugar Ray Leonard witnessed Duran taking more shots than normal, sparking the idea that Duran was vulnerable.
Good exchange in which Wellington got in a couple of good combinations. Roberto got in his usual sledgehammer.
Leonard saw a chance to knock out Duran because Duran was slower at the higher weight.
But he wasn't as strong as he's going to be. The last fight, he wasn't quite as strong. This fight, he's stronger. The next fight, he's going to be very strong. As I told you, the monster is loose and on the way to the title.
Leonard knew what knocking out the famed Hands of Stone would do for his reputation.
I think that after this particular fight, the press will realize that the guys that they say Sugar Ray can't deal with, or this guy's too strong for Sugar Ray, Sugar Ray can't punch, Sugar Ray has not been in the ring with anyone that is a legitimate fighter, these statements I will be able to silence completely, once and for all.
And so the super fight between Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran was set. Sugar Ray thought he was facing a big name on the downside of his career. He thought wrong.
We were watching the news. Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Leonard.
I think he's made the order for Sugar Ray. I think Duran, because his style, he walks in, wide open, and the other fella's so fast, and he's such a great boxer.
Few gave Duran a chance.
Sugar Ray will stop him. Why? I think he's a much better fighter than Roberto Duran. Out where the river broke.
And I saw Duran's eyes, and Duran's physical expression changed to a mean. And he said, I hate him. I'm going to beat living S out of him.
Duran was training like he hadn't in years.
But this fight seemed to have taken on more desire for him to get out there and really do it. If he ever won a fight in his life, he wants to win this one. And I like Leonard, because Leonard's a good boxer, and Duran is a club fighter, and he's not too smart.
Leonard, with the fastest hands in the boxing game, is listed as the 9-5 favorite among the odds makers.
Truly motivated by a real challenge, Hands of Stone was ready.
Well, Sugar Ray Leonard fights with a flair, and Roberto Duran, who fights with a fury, square off tomorrow night in Montreal for the WBC welterweight title.
In Panama, the entire country watched their hero. It would be a historic clash. Most of the world believed Duran would be outmatched against Sugar Ray at welterweight.
I've talked to fighters that have fought him, and everyone underestimates them. They think they can win until they're in the ring with them.
Sugar Ray Leonard defending against the challenger Roberto Duran. There, Roberto Duran in his dressing room. Intense. He has approached this fight with an almost religious fervor.
He was Roberto Duran against the undefeated, ever popular Ray Leonard.
I called Roberto Duran the Hands of Stone, Manos De Piedra, and he hit me, and I even turned around and said, who else was in this damn ring?
Ray Leonard was a welterweight. He got beat by Roberto Duran, who was a lightweight.
Hands of Stone had defeated the previously undefeated Sugar Ray Leonard to become the welterweight champion of the world.
The new champ signed autographs, talked to friends in Midtown Manhattan. Roberto Duran, hero and giant killer.
He won the first fight with Sugar Ray. He was on top of the world. He was the king. He went out and started doing what he does when he's not fighting. Partying, eating, drinking.
How much did he blow up, would you say?
I forget, I think it was close to 40 pounds.
And so Ray demanded that the rematch be in 6 weeks. So, Duran is in New York just partying it up for like 3 weeks. They call him from Panama, say, hey, you gotta come and train, you're fighting in 3 weeks. And he was close to 200 pounds.
From Roberto comes and making that little bit of money, fighting as a lightweight for all them years and not making millions, he wasn't going to pass it up.
But this guy gains weight and loses weight faster than anybody this side of Tommy Lasorda.
If he was out of training after a fight, he'd put on tremendous amounts of weight. 30, 40 pounds over what he should be fighting in.
He doesn't like to train anymore. He sometimes appeared listless, even uncoordinated.
Unable to pass up the massive payday, Duran took a fight he knew he couldn't properly prepare for.
He fluctuates in weight so badly. Back in October, Roberto Duran may have weighed as much as 190 pounds.
But he catches a right and left, lands all right. That's the Sugar Ray Leonard punch that drew the crowd. These two men do not like each other.
This time, Leonard danced.
What I heard, he was up to pretty close to 200 pounds, from 147 to 200.
Leonard came to fight then, as you said, Larry, confidence personified.
Very confident. And if he can do this for 15 rounds, then you have a new champion.
Preying on Duran's lack of conditioning, Leonard made a joke of the fight. He showboated and mocked Hands of Stone.
Doing a little dodging now and a little Ali. He's taunting Duran.
As the fight progressed, Duran knew he was simply in no shape to fight.
And he's got Duran openly, not just furious, but puzzled. He is taunting Duran. Duran troubled by the movement.
He said when the Sugar Ray started clowning around, he said, that's it. There's going to be a third fight. And in the third fight, I'm going to be the real me again.
The infamous moment.
And what's happening? Duran says no.
No mas.
I think he's quitting. He said no more. And then he did it a second time.
No, I don't understand.
He's saying no, he quit.
I don't understand it.
I think Duran quit.
I don't understand.
Duran has quit. Roberto Duran has quit.
Angry at being made to look the fool, Duran uttered the famous words and quit.
I hold no respect for him as far as a man's concerned. I respect him as a fighter, don't get me wrong. I respect him as a fighter and as his accomplishments, his credentials. But as a man, I can't.
Tiraban piedras a la casa, insultaban a Roberto, que era un vendido, que esto y que el otro.
It was a stain on Duran's character.
Roberto Duran, after the No Mas fight, became a pariah. He was despised by most of his countrymen.
Even his own countrymen turned against him. The stink of No Mas still hung over Duran when he challenged the unbeaten WBA 154 champion, Davey Moore.
Davey Moore?
Davey Moore.
Yeah.
To come back after the No Mas and everybody was like, he's on his way out, and then do what he did. It just, that right there was inspiration for me. Like, man.
She's like the wind.
It was less of a fight and more of a therapeutic release for Duran. All the anger of No Mas was unleashed on the unsuspecting champion, Davey Moore. The spectacular win put Duran back in the limelight. This prompted the Marvelous One to give Duran a title shot.
You can hear this crowd very much, apparently, in the corner of Roberto Duran.
Be prepared for a flash knockdown.
First round. Listen to this crowd. The crowd is absolutely electric.
A fight no one gave Duran any chance in.
Hagler scoring more effectively there. That was a good left hand to the body, and there's a good right hand by Duran.
Duran was well out of his natural weight class and was now wading into some serious deep water against the far bigger Marvin Hagler.
That time was Hagler with a counter punch, comes back with a right hand.
Hagler was an action fighter who never ran from back and forth exchanges.
And there was a left hand. Duran says, no, I'm not hurt. It's
For the substantially smaller Duran to go the distance with this beast during the height of his reign was simply remarkable.
If you want an editorial on this fight, let the crowd give it to you.
For the winner by unanimous decision, and still, the undisputed middleweight.
At age 38, Duran took a fight against the WBC middleweight champion, the Blade, Iran Barkley. Barkley had just demolished Tommy Hearns.
You know, Al, there's a saying in boxing, a fighter can look like he's in great condition. All of a sudden he walks up the stairs, the bell rings, and he doesn't have it anymore. That's happened to Roberto Duran like 3 times. This is going to be some test for a 37-year-old guy against a tough guy like Iran Barkley.
Many suspected this fight would be the final nail in the coffin of Duran's career. It appeared his glory days were long gone.
761 KOs. Señores y señoras, los Manos De Piedra. He won the championship with a sensation. The Blade, Barkley.
Shake hands. Let's go. All right, let's go. Duran try and win his 4th title, and to see if Iran, the Blade Barkley.
Roberto Duran is going to have to make Barkley miss, throw his combinations, and get out of there.
And that may be easiest tonight against Duran, a man who, after all, still is coming up from 135 pounds when he's this point.
Great defensive fighter, though. There's those.
Barkley using the jab, and there's that left hook to the body.
Much bad blood between these two guys.
I'd still win. Davey Moore took the beating at the hands of Duran. In that fight, Duran as well. Barkley should test the body of Duran. He's starting to do that.
Well, the head would take care of itself because Roberto was on the head.
Duran lands the right. Who beat Thomas? Oh, big right hand staggers Barkley.
Barkley is hurt. The fact that Duran has not shown punching powers in middleweight, and there it was.
His friend's memory. Right now, it's only him though against Duran as we head. More of the boxing skills tonight.
He's feinting with his feet. There's that right hand.
Barkley's been on the mat before. Michael by knockout in a wild affair. And Hearns
Duran to lose.
Interestingly, that is their common opponent.
Out to Barkley was going to watch the right hand because I could see Roberto. What a man this Roberto Duran.
The body work, as you said, of Barkley, a real important, he is much stronger than him. Boxer Sambu Kalambai thwarted his efforts to win a title before. Although Tommy Hearns was nailed with a big right. It's been an excellent round for Iran Barkley. Later in the round, when Duran had his moments. Yelling, Duran, Duran. Just like when Davey Moore fought in his hometown.
Tough.
Well, for the WBC middleweight championship that now
big right hand by Barkley.
Iran Barkley is landing major league punches and Duran's going and they're both catching. Great body shot by
solid right hands by Duran. You know, this fight may wind up.
We got it. A strong. That's the difference between Duran now and maybe 8 years ago. Astonishing he's taking these punches from Barkley because big right on the
hasn't been wobbled.
Ironically, Barkley's probably followed all this. Duran would fold. We're in round 5. Big right by Duran.
Back in this fight.
Iran Barkley. Great cut man also here tonight, working with some of the Olympians. The WBC middleweight championship, the champion Iran Barkley. Duran landing on the inside, so is Barkley. Duran came out hard here in the 7th. Could this be his last? What a hook by Barkley.
And a good right hand by Duran.
The family is amazing.
As I say, this may wind up being...
The crowd starts to chant again. It always ends up being a home crowd for him. He's been one of his trademarks. Excellent right hand. That one stunned Barkley.
Vicious left hook to the body, and Duran came back. He's nailing.
Hit him with big shots. Nothing is phasing Roberto Duran. What a double left hook by Barkley. Can he weather this storm? Duran is hurt. He was hurt with 2 left hooks. Not trying to pump up Duran. How much is left in that Barkley? Why not? Oh, right hand again by Duran over a very right misses by Barkley. Iran Barkley, and it's not coming easy tonight.
Watch the head inside.
Up to the head, and Duran still responds. They stare at each other.
There you go, he made Duran miss. Came back with that, there he made him miss. And back with that left hook.
Let's go. Come on.
Over the left eye, he's got some swelling under the left eye.
Dance step, and he's painting with his feet. And it's a fight that you have to watch because anything can happen. But point-wise, that's what gave me gray hair when I was managing and training fighters.
But then remember that, yes, amazingly so. Good right by Duran. Right hand by Barkley.
If Duran landed a
good straight right hand, Barkley backs up and takes a right hand. He may be Atlantic City. Alien territory to him, but he's still got his, you've heard throughout this bout.
And they came through the snowstorm.
Round 9 is ending, perhaps Duran's best round in the last. Little reminiscent of the right eye of David. Barkley has done much better work in this bout. And is probably ahead. But
to go 3rd win. Where he got it from, I don't know.
I haven't a clue. When Barkley is, we're in the 10th.
Duran has been landing
cranked up.
There's that right hand. And another one on the left.
He cannot be underestimated. Even at 37. A round in which, like the 9th, Duran has done some excellent work. Good right by. Every time there's right. For Duran. Again, the body work of Barkley. The low blow. Round 10, a big one. The 11th round.
I don't see how Barkley can recover from these shots. First right hand. There's the left hook, another right hand. And there's the big one. And down.
WBC middleweight crown is at stake. And believe me, it isn't. Again, the right hand bounces off Barkley's head. Remember, they told Barkley.
And they just felt he was stronger than Barkley. Going into those lands. He's still going to have to land another big bomb, Al. He can't.
In this round. This has been a fight of twists and turns.
Well, you have to watch down.
That's the part he wants to win. Wins this round. There's no guarantee Duran will win a decision, but he'll. Early, Barkley was very effective. Duran started the.
These guys have tremendous heart. There's no question about that.
Short punches. He landed a great short right hand that drove Duran back. It'll tell us a lot.
Doesn't have a leg under him. And look at Duran now.
Only a little more than 20 seconds left. Barkley with the jab, and that's his best punch right now because he'll be a classic war. This has been extraordinary. Man, and hey, you win the bet, buddy. You think they can fit anybody else in that ring? Good left hand, and that was in the 8th.
There's the left hook. There's the other right hand. And the
113 for Barkley. 112 for Duran.
What a big
for the winner, and
The reason why Roberto Duran is so great, he's only 5'6". He was able to go from 135 pounds all the way to light heavyweight. And he went the distance with Marvin Hagler. He was the first fighter to ever beat Sugar Ray Leonard, and he was only 5'6". But these are the things that we don't see.
So he was, and still is, he's the most famous Panamanian today.
He's still the hero of the Latino boxing fan. Didn't matter, he's Panamanian, Mexican, and Puerto Rican.
he's out. Oh, look out. He's out now. They should have knocked him out in the 14th round.
Roberto Duran continued fighting for many more years, ultimately finishing with a record of 103 wins, 16 defeats, and 70 knockouts. Considered by many to be the greatest lightweight ever.
Pound for pound, the best fight of the last 2 decades. A man who intimidates opponents with those angry eyes.
Roberto Duran. Hands of Stone.